From a neglected childhood to the army, my journey of resilience and redemption. When I was born, my mom was 17 and my dad was 19. My dad has been in prison for most of my life due to non-violent drug charges. When I was 10, my mom married my stepdad. To clarify, my mom and dad never married. They dated and eventually had me. The problems with my mom began when she got pregnant with my sister. After my sister was born, she got pregnant again and had my brother. I felt like a ghost, as she hardly paid attention to me anymore. She neglected me emotionally, and I felt unwanted in her life. As I grew up, I tried to get her to talk to me, but she was always busy with my brother and sister. Every family activity excluded me. It was always my stepdad, mom, and my siblings, but not me. I felt like I wasn't part of the family, leading me to conclude that my mom disliked me. I have two younger siblings aged 4 and 9. One day, my mom came into my room, all dressed up and in a rush. I asked if she was going somewhere, and she said no. I went back to playing on my computer. About 15 minutes later, I heard the garage door go up, so I raced downstairs, confused. Sure enough, my mom, stepdad, sister, and brother were all dressed up and in the truck. I stood outside, feeling really uncomfortable. The look my mom gave me as she got into the truck made me feel like I was interrupting her. There wasn't any apology, just a look of absolute disgust. I don't cry easily, but something about the whole situation really got to me. I went back inside and cried a bit, but then got over it. It wasn't the first time. She texted me 10 minutes later, saying they were just going to the park. I didn't respond because I didn't want to get worked up again. Fast forward to when they got home, I was eating dinner, and my 9-year-old sister rushed in, super excited to tell me about everything they had done. They hadn't gone to the park. My mom had lied, saying they went to the park when they'd actually gone to Dave & Buster's, had milkshakes, and went shopping. I was visibly crushed, and my little sister noticed. I could tell my mom was about to start making excuses and blaming me, so to keep my little sister and brother from seeing that, I quietly excused myself to my room. It sucked. I've been trying so hard to be a good son, despite my mom's selfishness and the chaos it causes me. Once I realized this isn't normal, I started questioning our relationship, feeling trapped and wanting a way out without ending up on the streets. I'm 19 and unemployed. I joined the army. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision, and my mom still doesn't know. I can handle it, and it's the first decision I've actually made on my own. I can't tell you how excited I am for basic training soon. Update. Not much has happened. I've been busy moving my stuff out. You guys told me not to say anything to my mom about me leaving, but I find that really hard to do because my sister is outspoken. Everything she hears and sees, she tells, so I decided to tell my sister I'll be leaving for a job that I was offered. I'm going to tell my mom the same thing if she asks. If you guys have any better suggestions or ideas on how to deal with this situation, I'm all ears. My mom didn't see me moving my stuff out, but she did notice some of my things missing and asked about them. I told her I sold some of my things to make some quick cash. I just have a little bit left to move out and I'll be done. In case you're wondering where I left my stuff, I asked a friend if I could leave it at her house, and she said yes. Some of you are probably wondering when I'm leaving for the army. It's on the 23rd, this Friday. Some of you also asked why the Army and not the Navy, Marines, or Air Force. My friend who let me leave my things at her house has a grandpa who was in the Army, and he convinced me to join. But if things don't work out for me in the Army, I'm considering joining the Navy, Air Force, or Marines. Update 1. Today my biological dad called me and told me he got out of prison 2 weeks ago and is living in his parents' house. My grandparents left their house to my dad when they passed away, so I went to see him. We had a good conversation, and he apologized for not being there for me. I told him that if he was truly sorry, he should make up for it by being there for me now. He said he would try his best and mentioned he got a job in construction. I told him I was going to the army, and he broke down in tears, telling me he was proud of me. I couldn't help but cry as well. It was a very emotional moment. I also told him that because he hasn't been there all my life, I won't call him Dad just because he's my biological father. I said I would call him by his name until he earns the title of Dad. He told me that was fine. I plan on going back tomorrow to spend more time with him, of course, after he gets out of work. Update 2. I'm all ready to go. I'm here at my biological father's house. My mom doesn't know I'm leaving for the army. She only knows that I moved out of her house and am staying with my biological father. I left her a note explaining how she has treated me, but I didn't mention that I'm joining the army. I'm going to call an Uber to take me to the station where I'll be picked up by a bus and taken to the army. In case you're wondering, my bio dad is paying for the Uber. I also want people to know that I forgave my bio dad for not being there for me. However, I told him that just because I forgave him doesn't mean I'm going to call him Dad. He has to earn it. So I started calling him by his first name, Matthew. Yes, that's his real name. I could see the hurt in his eyes when I called him by his first name, but he accepted the fact that he wasn't there for me growing up. These are the consequences, but I also told him I'd give him an opportunity to redeem himself. Let's see if he really is sorry and regrets not being there for me. I don't know if my mom has read the letter because I'm not there to see her reaction. I did talk to my sister, who's 10 years old, about me moving out because I got a job. She was sad but asked if I'm going to come and visit. I told her her I would when I have the time. She was 9 before, but she turned 10 this past weekend. It was her birthday. My little brother is still too young to understand things, so I didn't tell him anything. He's only 4 after all. Update 3. Well, I did go to the army, and everything worked out well, but I will say those 10 weeks were brutal. It was hell. I couldn't even smile because the drill sergeant would get in my face. Anyway, back to the update. I gave my previous phone to my bio dad to give to my bio mom so she could cancel the phone service. I decided to get a new phone whenever I have the time to buy one. I'm doing good. I haven't heard anything from my bio mom. So, is it safe to assume she doesn't care at all? Oh well. I did make new friends here, as some of you suggested, and it's been good. I also got my own place, and I have a date tomorrow. She's someone I met at the park the other day. She's a freshman in college, trying to get her degree in teaching. Nothing serious right now. We're just going out as friends, trying to get to know each other. I'm also seeing a therapist, and it has helped a lot. Anyway, that's about it for now. I'll update you guys if anything else happens.